Okay, good day, guys. Good day to you all. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel. Thanks for being here. The support is much appreciated. And a gentle reminder, as always, to please like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it is a free way to support the channel. So today I want to talk a bit about Corey Burke. Well, about both Union players, cause both Union players were in action on the weekend against in a winning performance against Chicago, right? The Chicago Fire. But Corey Burke in particular was very good on the day. He scored a goal in this game, right? And his overall performance was just very good, right? Very good. Initially, earlier in the season, he wasn't in the starting lineup, making some substitute appearances. But eventually, he got his chance in the starting lineup because the Union were playing in the CONCACAF Champions League, and hence they were playing midweek games. So that's how Burke would have eventually found himself into the starting lineup, and he has done well. He has done well. He has really done well. I mean, when you get your opportunity and you grab it by the scruff of the neck and you start really, you get the opportunity and you're really playing well. You're really playing good, right? At that point in time, it forces the manager. The manager can't look past you at that point in time, and that's exactly what Burke has done. So Burke followed up on his excellent performance last week against New York City with another good performance this week against the Chicago Fire. And it is very important to note that Burke seemingly likes to play against Chicago, or his stats would indicate that he likes to play against Chicago. He has scored 4 goals in 2 starts and 1 substitute appearance against Chicago before this game. So this game, he scored in this game, and this game would have made it 5 goals in 3 starts and 1 substitute appearance against Chicago. So he likes to play Chicago, judging by his stats against them. And again, this week's performance would have followed up last week's exceptional performance, right? Against New York. Philly, the Union went a man down, right? And Burke was asked to play a lot deeper than usual. So because the Union went a man down very early in the game, it forced a formation change, right? From the usual 4-4-2 with a diamond midfield that the Union normally play to now a 4-4-1. So Burke was deployed in the midfield. And let me tell you something, man. Burke was just simply amazing in this game, right? Corey Burke carries the ball exceptionally well, right? Exceptionally well. And even when he's playing as a center forward, normally you can see that, right? But Burke last week playing in Philadelphia's midfield, he was breaking up plays a lot, right? Producing some good passes from deep and some good passes from some advanced positions as well, right? To get the attack going, but he was making interceptions and putting some very good challenges, right? That was constantly breaking up New York City plays, right? Constantly breaking up the plays. There were points in the game when I was watching the game and I was thinking to myself, is this guy a striker or a top class number 6? Right? That's how excellent he was, right? Breaking up New York City plays and just, making that one pass that would get a Union attack going. And his distribution as well in the game was very good. He also drove the ball very well in last week's game, right? He drove the ball very well. He would take the ball and just single-handedly break the lines, driving through the middle of the park, and even dribbling past players, right? Corey Burke dribbling past players. Can you believe that Corey Burke turned big dribbler, right? Dribbling past players and just like literally single-handedly, he would just literally break up a play in last week's game and just take the ball and drive it through the middle or drive past some New York City defenders, dribble past some New York City defenders even. So again, man, it was just a very good game from him last week. You know, in tight spaces, he showed he had good skill as well to elude the press. So Burke was just exceptional last week, and this week he was exceptional again, albeit in a much more advanced role this time around. This week he was playing in a front two because, as I said, the Union like to play with a 4-4-2 with a diamond midfield. So in this game, Burke was doing a lot of pressing, a lot of intense pressing as per usual. And he was also, playing as a focal point, right, to link up the play, which is expected of Corey Burke. We all know that he's capable of doing that. A lot of the Union were playing a lot of balls onto his head, into his chest, and into his feet for his fellow Union teammates to play off of him, right? And of course, this was a massive help in helping to build the play, helping in the build-up play. And once he released it, he would just, make his way into the opposition's penalty box, to get on the end of something. And he was also giving defenders a warm time with his pace and ball carrying ability, right? I mean, he was giving defenders a warm time with his strength, his pace, and his physicality, right? I mean, in this game against Chicago, man, it was problems, man. I'm telling you, Burke was just dominating them with pace, physicality, and good technical ability and good skill. He was just dominating them. I'm not even exaggerating, guys. He was above and beyond the standout guy on the park for the Union. And he was above and beyond the standout guy on the park for the Union last week as well. Right? So he just had an exceptional performance, man. As I said, in this game as well, he was driving past defenders, whether through the middle or down the flanks, and making crosses into the box when he would get out wide and make a run down the flanks. And we saw a couple of good crosses from Burke in this game. Some very teasing balls, right, that caused the Chicago Fire problems in this particular game. Right, some good crosses being distributed into the box, and just the Union were struggling to deal with those crosses. They weren't closing down the crosses because anytime a player went out to try and get tight to Burke, he would beat the player, right, and get a crossing. And then there were times as well to where there was a lot of, in this particular game, there was a lot of space out wide on the right-hand side of the Union's attack or the left-hand side of Chicago's attack, right? A lot of space that the Union were exploiting, and exploiting very well. But this whole ball carrying element, right, is a massive feature of Corey Burke's game. It is a massive feature of Corey Burke's game. Coming deep and picking up the ball in deep positions and carrying it, a good couple of yards up the pitch. This is a massive, massive feature of Corey Burke's game. He does it all the time, and he does it very well and does it very impressively. And it's a major asset that can be used to break the lines. A major asset that can be used to break the lines. And it's something that Burke does it's a standout feature of Burke's game for sure. For sure. Burke was also leading the charge in transitional play as well, right, with this ball carrying tactic, and also, getting the ball up to Burke to hold it up, right? And bring others into the game. Union players making forward runs. And also, as mentioned earlier, there was a couple of times when he drifted out wide to receive the ball and got the beating of defenders who were tracking his runs. And again, putting some teasing and dangerous crosses. Burke again had some excellent skill moves in this game as well. On one particular occasion, I remember he got past two players mightily impressively. Right? It was a brilliant turn with his first touch to get past one. It was about midway the Union's or midway Chicago's half. A brilliant turn with his first touch to get past the first player, and then he nutmegged the second player, what we in Jamaicans call salad, right? To get past the second player before that particular player took him out, right? Because he was not in the mood to be beaten like that. So, Burke showing impressive skill in this game as well. Impressive skill in this game as well, right? It was two brilliant skill moves from Burke in one particular pattern of play. It was beautiful to see. Corey Burke has a well-rounded game, and that has to be highlighted. I think most people think of Corey Burke, in one particular sense, but it must be highlighted that Burke has a very well-rounded game. And he's also a workhorse, right? He is a workhorse. He does a lot of work, right, for your team, drawing fouls as well, getting to the second balls first, and overall just bullying defenders with physicality, skill, and pace, man. I mean, it was just beautiful to behold how well Burke was playing in this particular game. But obviously, to get to the highlight of his game, undoubtedly, the big moment for Burke came in the 51st minute, right? A well-taken goal from Corey Burke, and it came from a throw-in, again down the right-hand side of the pitch in the Union's final third, right? The throw-in went to Burke, and Burke stood his ground and held off the defender, and flicked on a header to a teammate, right? And then Burke drifted more centrally into the box to receive a lobbed overhead return ball, right? So it was basically a give and go, right? And it was an excellent left-footed volley with great technique, right? He let it come across his body and blasted it into the back of the net. So it was a very, very well taken goal. And of course, Burke was involved in the build-up play as well. So, Burke, that was the highlight of Burke's performance in this game. But overall, again, man, Burke was just all over the place, causing a lot of problems. So let's see if Burke can continue this good run of form. I think he'll definitely be in the starting lineup next week or next game, and that's for sure. The last two games. Well, I missed the midweek Champions League game, but the last week's MLS game and this one just gone on the weekend, Burke was untouchable. So I expect to see him starting next time around for the Union. Andre Blake was the other Jamaican involved in this game as well. Our big keeper Andre Blake. He made one big save in the latter stages of the game, right? The usual Andre Blake heroics, right? It was an excellent save. But other than that, he had 2 or 3 comfortable saves from some, relatively weak shots or shots that went straight at him, right? But apart from that, he didn't really have much action in terms of dealing with threats onto his goal. He had some good kickouts as well. His distribution in this game was good for the most part. Most of his goalkeeper kickouts were to Burke, who was asked to provide those flick-on headers for the Union to play off the second balls. right? So Blake and Burke linking up on a number of occasions in this game. So that's good to see. Right, so overall, the Union won the game 2-0. It was a very entertaining game, and truth be told, the Union were the better team. Right, so congrats to both Blake and Burke, and hopefully, they can continue with their good individual runs. Especially Burke. We know Blake is a top player. And we know Burke is a good player as well. So hopefully both can continue doing good things. So that's my 2 cents, guys, on Burke and Blake's performance on the weekend. So that's it from me. Stay safe, take care. Please remember, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And until next time.